All right, so we're live on Instagram, Facebook, and also on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, and it is a pleasure to be here with you with this Facebook Live. And today we're just going to continue talking about, topics that have to do with personal development, but specifically with, a new business model that many people have actually taken advantage of, which is affiliate marketing, network marketing, direct sales, and today, if you want to know more about that, I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. But today, I'm going to actually talk about um, one thing that you and I need to really realize before procrastinating, because success won't wait. Opportunities will never wait for you to feel ready or for you to feel that you're at the right spot or that you have the right connections or that you have what it takes for you to be successful. So as you're logging on, let me know with the number one here in the chat if you're watching live, number two if you're watching on a replay. I'm broadcasting directly from Nashville, Tennessee. Today has been a special day, and the reason why is because today we launched a brand new product that we've been working on in our communities from Butters and also New Hope Global. And maybe you are watching on a replay. So type number two, type number one if you're watching live. I know that there's many people who are following this page or this channel and they're in Europe. So, the timing might not be the best for you guys, but, here we are with this topic. And I think that you might enjoy it. So go ahead and share it if you find value. But if you don't know me, my name is Danny Nedelko, and I'm originally from Mexico. And I have a message for you today because I am passionate about network marketing, about entrepreneurship, and not only that, but I would love to be a path that you can take for your success. And if we can help you in any way, even if it's just by providing you with this information, these videos, that's very well. Because I want to tell you one thing: success is not going to wait for you to feel ready. Success and also opportunities, I don't know if you've seen it in many different pages or books, or maybe you've heard it from one motivational speaker, but success and opportunities, they simply change persons. That if you don't take advantage of an opportunity, it's going to simply find somebody else that does. So if you've been waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect mindset, let me tell you something: that's never going to happen, because success doesn't wait. It responds to faith and action. It responds of you for you to take action daily, whether you feel like it, whether you don't feel like it. And this doesn't only go for network marketing, but goes for everything. So as you're coming on, and I see that there's some of my friends here, please let me know where's that you're watching from. It's such a pleasure to be here with you. But going back to my topic, success does not wait. It does not wait. Not for you to feel ready, not for you to feel like if you have everything together. When I started in business, and just leave a number one here, either on any platform in the comments. Please let me know where's that you're connecting from which city and country. Leave me a number one if you're watching live, number two if you're watching a replay. But when I started in business, I did not feel ready. I didn't have all the answers, the systems, the confidence, but I had one thing, actually two things, that I think that I might leave you with so you can meditate on it, think about it. And that is, I was hungry. I was hungry for something bigger and better. And I had faith, I had hope that things will turn around. There was this, little voice inside whenever I felt that I didn't have the resources, or I didn't have the money to start a business, or I didn't have the connections, or I didn't know people. And this little voice inside, I just heard it, just go and do it, and you also has this inside, and this is self-confidence. And sometimes you're not going to feel like you have it all together. But as Jim Rohn once said, don't wish it were easier, and I'm sorry, but wish you were better. So don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Because if you are improving yourself every single day, things will change in its effect. So that's exactly what I had to do. I had to become better, braver, bolder, because when you move, even when you're scared, you know, things move. Things move because when you move and when you apply action, when you apply consistency, when you apply, all of the things that you probably already know from your job, from your school, from experiences, and you keep on moving, you will see that change takes place. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Let's talk about network marketing. Maybe you are here on my page and that's all you hear, that's all you know. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing that I am passionate about, not only because, I own a company that does network marketing, no, but I'm going to just really 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 leave you with this from my heart. I started when I was not even ready. I started because I was hungry. I started because I needed to feed my kids. And out of this desperation or hunger or whatever you want to call it, I found a vehicle that I see now that people are taking advantage of, not only in our company, but in the entire industry. And people are creating a better future for their families. So listen to this. Leaders, or if you don't know what a leader is, or let's put it in a simple way, entrepreneurs are not made are not made. Maybe they are, maybe you come from a family where you have a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, but leaders and entrepreneurs are trained. Yes, you could have some traits of a leader, or a person that does things to get ahead. Yes, but like Eric Worre said one time, the key to success in network marketing is massive action before mastery. Yes, that's the key, and that's the key for any industry. In reality, if you're watching this video, I want you to know one thing. Maybe you found this because you want to know more about, how can I be better at business? How can I have more confidence? How can I improve myself? Maybe how can I have better relationships? How can I build a business online? Maybe you found this video for a reason. You don't get confidence first, but you build it by doing it. You are not good at speaking until you start speaking more. You're not a great singer just out of nowhere until you start singing. And for that, you need to mess up. You need to stumble your words, even if you don't know the language. And I'm going to speak to those who are in the US, who, we come from different countries and we have different languages. My home town is in Mexico City. I was raised and born in that area. All I knew was Spanish. I learned English, and when I got to this country, then everybody speaks English, so I had to learn. And I'm going to tell you one thing. It was not easy. I needed to speak and speak and speak and speak, and I still have some words I can't pronounce and things. That's the same way in business. It is the same way when you're trying to do anything new, because you weren't born ready. But if you get ready, you can take on anything you put your mindset on. So every conversation, every call, every rejection as an entrepreneur builds your next level, builds your character. And when you learn, you adapt, and you keep the faith. Now I'm going to tell you one thing. Tony Robbins says one thing that I really, really, really love, because the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. That is the only impossibility. You will only fail and be, miserable if you never start. That's a fact, because whenever you apply action and you have hope for a better future, and you step into the unknown, there's something going to be happening. Something is going to move, because sometimes we don't feel ready. Sometimes we're tired. Sometimes we're broke. Sometimes we're doubting ourselves, but that's exactly where miracles just takes place. And what's a miracle? Maybe you get better because you going out there at your craft. Maybe, you're an entrepreneur, and that's why we're here, to talk about entrepreneurship. You go and get more clients. You go and get more connections. You are going to get a ton of rejections. You're going to get a ton of no's. I'm going to tell you a personal story. When you walk by faith, you don't wait to see the full staircase. You take the first step and then you go up, you go up, you go up. I'm going to tell you how I got started in businesses. I have had different businesses, but I used to sell bread on the streets in Texas. Yes. And, not because it was, the funnest thing, or it was just what it was. I had nothing else. So I learned something about selling. And I know that you might not be a seller, but just take this as a story. I went every single day, well, not every single day, every time that I had to sell the bread, and I was knocking doors, residentials and also commercial. So I went to different businesses. I kid you not, I can think probably more than 100 rejections every single day. So you develop a skin whenever you are working your craft. If you're an entrepreneur, you're in sales. Just don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. You need to have a sell for you to have business. So even if they tell you, maybe in your network marketing company, or maybe at your job, oh, you're not selling, the product is selling itself. That's not true. I mean, don't fool yourself. Let's be real. I was knocking doors, and I was just going to businesses, and I was offering my bread. Some people say, some people shame me, some people say no, some people say yes. The very first days I was devastated. I was like, oh, they don't like me. But you know what? They're rejecting a product and service. They're not rejecting you. That's what I learned. And then I developed a skin, because if I didn't sell bread, I didn't eat. Hello. And that I could have not known this in school. They don't teach you these things in college. So I kept on, kept on, kept on until I was really good at it. So I know, and this is for you in network marketing, and if you're an entrepreneur or if you have a business, the more people you talk to, the more successful you will be. The more meetings you have with people belly to belly, if you are in a business and if you want to scale your business, if it's a traditional business, you need to make, and you need to have the ability to get people in front of people, to have people in front of your product. That could be as a webinar, that could be meeting people in their homes. I don't know what your business is, but that's the success that can take place in your business when you plug in, those people. Maybe it could be your sales force, or it could be people in your team, or yourself, and you're there belly to belly. So I learned one thing. I learned that a rejection is not a no. A rejection is, just a no for today or for right now, but somebody might change their mind. I kept on going to the same businesses. Some people kicked me out of there. Some people said, you came back, and you know what, maybe not that day, but 2 or 3 weeks later they purchased. So I kept on going, kept on going, kept on going. So you don't need to be ready. You don't need to know everything. You will learn it as you go. That's how entrepreneurs do the things. What we do, an entrepreneur, and I'm going to tell you how it is, and it's exciting and it's scary. It is like going to the Empire State, to the very top, all the way up, and then throwing yourself down and building your parachute. That's literally how I see entrepreneurship. You just need to jump. You just need to see it before you can actually succeed. So sometimes, you're going to be scared. You're going to be rejected, but that is completely normal. That is what we're here for. We are here for, changing a world with our example, first of all, as a citizen, but then you need to learn, different lessons. And I want to tell you one thing. Motivation doesn't come just out of nowhere. You need to stay on top of your mind. You need to stay on top of your mindset every single day, because when you want to succeed, as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. That's why success doesn't wait for you or anybody. It just goes through. If you want to jump on the train of success, you need to really go after it, because that's the kind of hunger that moves mountains. When you stop just feeling that you need to wait to see if you're going to learn how to talk to people, or I'm going to see if I'm going to get to know more people, or I need to know more about the products and the services, you will never move. You will never move. Tell me one thing. If you find a person that has passion, that has faith, that is excited, that is motivated, and that is not only that, but is happy and is nice and is kind to you, you want to be around that person. You want to be around that type of people. And you know what? When you stop waiting to feel ready, that's when you will be successful. That's when doors open. That's when purpose ignites. So I'm going to tell you one thing. Here's my challenge for you tonight. Yes, write down one thing that you've been delaying because you did not feel ready. And that might be, I don't know, to restart network marketing. I don't know, it might be to just lose weight, whatever that is. Make the decision to do it this week. Start this week. Don't overthink it. Don't wait until next Monday. Don't wait until New Year's. Take the step and trust the process. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to be here clapping for you. Just comment in the comments. Just leave me a comment with ready, with the word ready. If you're ready to take on your life and be successful. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Success will not wait for you. It will just pass through. And let's do one thing. Let that not be you. Let you be that person that says, you know what? I am going to take on this challenge that is, my own success, that is my own goals, and I'm going to make it happen. But I'm going to give you one secret. One little secret. If you do the things not only for you, not only to pay the mortgage or the credit cards or your lease on your car or your car, whatever, if you do things for somebody else, put in between your goals a reason why and a tangible goal to do things for other people, because you will quit if you do it for yourself, because you're okay. If I don't get to start this business, or if I don't get to be successful, I'm fine. I'm still gonna be okay. I'm gonna be able to pay my bills somehow. I'm gonna be okay. But if your kids are waiting on you, if your mom is depending on you, if your siblings are waiting to see that you will change the entire family tree, if people from your community, from your city, from your home country is waiting on you, if you have I don't know, a noble cause, like building schools in, I don't know, Ethiopia, Africa, Nigeria, whatever, if you have something, you don't have to be the one that does it. You can join other people in a vision. If you are doing the things for your community, for the good of others, you will be successful, because there will be something that is going to be, just imagine a rocket. It's your rocket is your motivation, and you see the goal all the way out there. But the rocket can not move until you put the fire behind. And I'm going to tell you what the fire behind is your reason why doing the things. So I'm going to leave you with that. Just comment here in the comments, ready, and just go and take on the challenge. Because if you don't do something today, success and goals and opportunities are going to pass you through, and somebody else is going to take them on. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you very soon. We'll see you en español en unos momentos. Y muchas gracias por estar aquí. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.